Penn players took home honors this week. We'll tell you who earned what.
It's spring, which means it's baseball season, not to mention golf, softball, and track. Anyways, we'll let you know all about it next on The Pulse.
Welcome to Oskaloosa Sports Pulse. I'm Jason Van Zetten.
And I'm Jason Madison.
The baseball and softball seasons have started for William Penn, and the conference schedule is ramping up.
We begin with the Statesmen taking on Waldorf in their home opener Saturday and Sunday. Penn started out the weekend hot, but then cooled off, Jay. William Penn jumped out and won its first two contests by scores of 3-0 and 4-1. Jorge Quinzada, fresh off his first collegiate no-hitter last Friday, was again on target. He cruised through Waldorf's lineup, allowing just 4 hits, 1 walk, and 1 hit by pitch. The junior, who let just 1 runner reach third base, struck out 7.
The next day, WPU took on the same team, but with a new attitude. Granted, it even took him an extra inning. In a game that lasted 10 innings, the Statesmen fell behind early, giving up a solo home run in the second frame. Junior Brad McGuire then relieved starting pitcher Jonathan Davis to keep Penn within striking distance. McGuire finished the afternoon by giving just 1 run unearned on 5 hits in 8 innings. He struck out 4 against 1 walk. William Penn managed to put those runners on base nearly every inning, but struggled to bring those runners in until the 7th. That's when William Penn was able to knot up the game 2-all. Relief pitcher McGuire battled through a pair of tough jams in the 8th and the 9th. The next double play at bat ended the ball game in an extra 10th inning where Waldorf escaped 3-2. William Penn, who left 12 runners on base over a span of 8 innings, failed to answer in the bottom half, losing for the first time in the MCC. The Statesmen continue battling the MCC weekend when Viterbo visits Oskaloosa for a 3-game set this weekend. Saturday's doubleheader beginning at 1 p.m. and Sunday's game also beginning at 1 p.m.
Switching over to softball, the Lady Statesmen were able to sweep Bellevue last Wednesday by scores of 3-1 and 6-1 to win its first set of home games played this season. But when the ladies hit the road for Baldwin City, Kansas to face Baker in a non-conference matchup, it was a different story. Heading into the doubleheader, WPU was on a 7-game winning streak that ended with losses to Baker University. The Navy and Gold owned a 6-4 edge in hits and had a half-dozen runners move into scoring position, but none crossed home plate in the first game. William Penn had his best chance in the 6th when senior Brianne Raleigh led off with a double. Then senior Kaya Lewis followed with a walk, but nothing came of it with 3 straight outs. Raleigh led the Lady Statesmen with a 3-for-3 showing, while freshman Ashley Dennis was 2-for-4. Whitehead took the loss with 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. The Wildcats of Baker also claimed the early lead in the nightcap to make it a clean sweep of WPU. The Lady Statesman then opened up its conference schedule Wednesday, traveling to Cedar Rapids to meet Mount Mercy in a doubleheader. Here's a look at how the games played out.
In related news, Oskaloosa's Jennifer Whitehead received league recognition for a performance on the mound last week. The sophomore was named the MCC's Softball Pitcher of the Week despite taking a loss and going 1-1. The sophomore began her week Wednesday by not allowing an earned run on 3 hits against Bellevue, Nebraska. She struck out 3 and walked a pair. The lefty had a tough first frame against Baker, Kansas on Saturday, giving up 3 runs that dropped the Lady Statesmen 3-zip. After a rough start, she retired 14 consecutive batters. For the year, Whitehead is 4-6 with a 1.83 ERA. In 65 innings of work, she has 36 strikeouts against 18 walks, and opponents are just hitting .243 against her.
Nice job.
Penn Athletics picked up another award this week as Oriel Thomas capped off a successful sophomore campaign with one more accolade. Thomas was selected to represent William Penn on the honorable mention team for the 2011-2012 NAIA Women's Basketball All-American list. The sophomore helped a young lady statesman squad to a 12-19 record this winter, including a 9-for-9 mark in league play. A first-team All-MCC pick last month, she averaged a double-double of 15 points and 11 rebounds per game. She also tallied 30 assists, 30 steals, and 10 blocks on the year. Thomas posted 15 double-doubles and highlighted her year by scoring a career-high 34 points against St. Ambrose on December 10th. The sophomore was one of 5 from the MCC who earned nationwide recognition out of 55 total players. Thomas is the program's 16th All-American in its history. William Penn has now had an individual collect All-American status 4 seasons in a row.
Great news for the William Penn men's basketball program as it enters the offseason. William Penn, which went 17-15 overall, 12-6 in the MCC, is 30th in 19 votes, up 10 spots, being tied for 40th in its final regular season poll. Voter rankings may be even higher next year once the season starts. The Statesmen only losing one player from this year's roster. That player is second-team All-American Allen Douglas, but even with his departure, 78% of the team's scoring remains. The MCC's regular season tournament champion St. Ambrose is the lone MCC squad in the top 25 at number 17. National champion Oregon Tech is number 1, Northwood, Florida second, while Davenport, Michigan, McPherson, Kansas, and Dordt round out the top 5. When we come back, OSP sits down with Penn's first national champion in nearly a decade. We'll be right back.
You should see my bank. It can do awesome things. Mom says it's just like the 4 seasons. Always there. Helping communities grow and be a better place to live and work. All because my bank lives here too.
Live Iowa, work Iowa, bank Iowa. Member FDIC.
Bates Funeral Chapel, where community is more than just a location. Where compassion is more than just a feeling. Where history is more than just a time. Bates Funeral Chapel, where service is more than just a word.
The doctor is in and no appointments are needed. Come to Dr. Salami's today and let the doc heal your hunger. Come to Dr. Salami's for friendly staff, casual atmosphere, and good friends. When you get here, you'll be treated to affordable prices, hearty portions, and good food. So come on down to Dr. Salami's today, your place for good friends, good food, good times.
If you buy the renegade idea that investing should be discussed face-to-face, not just inbox to inbox.
If you believe that your relationship with your investments shouldn't be long distance.
Join the nearly 7 million investors who think like you do. FaceTime and ThinkTime make a difference.
Join us.
At Edward Jones, it's how we make sense of investing.
Visit one of your friendly Oskaloosa reps today.
Welcome back to OSP. We're pleased to be joined by Eric Berge, William Penn's first national champion in the last decade or so. I believe if we dated back to 2003, that was the last time the wrestling program here had a national champ. So Eric, if we go back to you going home to Easton, what was your family's reaction, like your mom having you come home and being crowned as national champion?
It's just, like I said, it wasn't much different because, I mean, I was seeded number 1 the whole thing, so it was just a setback. So, okay. I mean, to me, it's still just like it's NAI. Like there's bigger goals. I want to go to like a bigger tournament, maybe like Midlands or something, out there and really like try and compete against some top-notch guys.
So basically, you're still hungry. This isn't a stopping point for you. I know you're only a sophomore now, so you still have 2 more years of college to finish up and possibly, you know, be a 3-timer, maybe the first 3-timer for the university. So what are you doing right now to prepare on the off season for something like that?
We have off-season training with like the team and stuff, but then also like just for fun, trying to keep my agility stuff together. Like we'll go do football drills with the pads and just mess around on the turf, play basketball, shoot around, just trying out different sports, just to try and keep in shape until we get back on the mat.
Okay. And what was interesting enough was that you weren't the only one that was on the podium. You know, you had Kerry Cloud. He's a freshman, only a year behind you, and he placed 8th at 149. So, I mean, is there? It seems like there's great competition. Is he one of the guys that you were able to work out with throughout the whole season?
I mean, he was out for a little bit with a knee injury, and actually didn't get to see him actually on the mat until like around Vegas time. But we were always drilling and stuff. He wasn't really able to go live until towards mid-season. So once he started getting to go live and get the live goes and stuff, he really fell right into it. Started winning, pulling out matches, and then paid off at the time he needed to. He's probably going to come back and be a contender for sure.
Is that maybe possibly the reason why? Maybe you're trying to bump up, or Coach Reed, he wants you to bump up a class because
I want to bump up. I've been 149 for too long. This is bad making weight. I walk around at like 168 pounds, so, and that's during the season. So I just need to eat, get bigger. I've always wanted to, I just felt like I needed to win it at 149 because that's where I started the season out at.
You injured your ribs during that match in your regional qualifier, knowing that some cartilage was damaged within your ribs possibly, and you not being 100% heading out there, dropping, you know, from number 1 to number 8. Did that even matter? Was that even in the back of your mind when you were on the mats and you having to compete against these top-ranked guys like yourself?
When I first went out, I was real sketchy. It was really sketchy actually, because I didn't step on a mat for 2 weeks since it had happened. I mean, I went down in the room and just shadow wrestled around with myself, and they listened to music and stuff, but really it was just elliptical and doing therapy with the trainers.
So you didn't know exactly where you were going to stack up from that time?
No, especially my cardio. I didn't think my cardio was going to be anywhere in the same shape as the people who are on the mat day in and day out getting the workouts, but I just stayed on elliptical, kept it like that, really. Kept my weight down. That was hard to manage the weight without being able to practice, so I really was like feeling weak.
Last year you weren't able to be out there on the mat that Saturday night competing for a championship, so, and I know you talked about that was kind of like your motivation for this year in order to not just you know, make a comeback in a way, but just prove to yourself and others that, you know, you were capable to wrestle on this level and actually excel.
I always thought it in my head, I always knew, but I didn't really start even picking up like my skills until junior year. And I remember I had a kid on my team, Kagan Handover, he was like a 2-timer in PA, and he told me one day it'll just all click. And like, I think it started clicking towards the middle of my junior year.
You're talking about high school, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
And that's why I placed like 7th in PA, which is a big deal. If you check like NCAA Division I, 61 of the contestants in the tournament are from PA. I think Iowa had 11. So like that's just, PA States to me is like, that was like an achievement, and I was coming back for my senior year and fell into a little bad mix-up, got in some trouble, and wasn't able to wrestle. So.
And I know that's something that they actually talk about in this article that came out over the weekend by Corky Blake, a gentleman back in your hometown in a way.
He actually, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No,
he actually was a teacher at the secondary, like the academy, because I had been expelled from the school because it was on school premises. So, and then I went to the academy and he was a teacher there, like a substitute film teacher. So he's seen it from back in high school.
Okay. So what was that like? I mean, going from a situation where you weren't able to wrestle your senior year of high school, then coming out here as a freshman, obviously to see your brother who lives here in Oskaloosa, but you really try to turn your life around in a way and try to, you know, you're trying to be more productive instead of what was going on back there when you were a real youth?
It's just the area I was in. It's not very, like, it's not there to help you out. That's how it feels, at least. It's like just trouble, trouble, trouble.
I mean, since you've been here, I mean, what have you gained from having this the second opportunity in your life?
A new chance, a new beginning, I guess. Somewhere to start fresh at. Right. Not the same old business, same old news. Just come here and do what I'm asked, I guess. Play sports, go to school, keep my grades up, and it will pay off.
Well, I know a little bit about you, and I know that you are, an established artist in a way where you love to draw. I mean, have you ever thought about doing anything in that realm when wrestling's all said and done?
Yeah, I like tattooing. I like the whole art of tattooing, not just tattoos for tattoos. I like pieces and artwork. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something. Like I said, that's even a harder thing to get into. You got to be very talented.
All right, Eric, we appreciate you being on this week's show. Everyone at home, we'll be right back.
I chose William Penn for its commitment to academic excellence.
I chose William Penn for its commitment to athletics.
I chose William Penn for its commitment to diversity.
I chose William Penn to become a leader.
Why will you choose William Penn?
Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen.
I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. The biggest stars, the classic hits, KIIC.
You know what makes spring so much fun in Iowa? The colors! Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa has them all in everything that's new for spring. So look over our fun and unique decorations, accents, and flowers. We have everything you need to get your home and your life in a joyful springtime mood. Shop Mahaska Drug and turn that winter drab into a dazzling array of colors and enjoy the new life all around us. Come visit us this week and take the time to look around. Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa. It's big, really big.
Whoa. Sure, you can take big bites of the handcrafted quarter pounder with cheese, but soon it's half gone. What have I done, you think? Your bites get smaller as you try to savor what's left with scientific precision. And as that last bittersweet bite of 100% beef and cheese tickles over your taste buds, you think, until next time, dear friend. Until next time.
The simple joy of savoring every bite.
You know what makes spring so much fun in Iowa? The colors! Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa has them all in everything that's new for spring. So look over our fun and unique decorations, accents, and flowers. We have everything you need to get your home and your life in a joyful springtime mood. Shop Mahaska Drug and turn that winter drab into a dazzling array of colors and enjoy the new life all around us. Come visit us this week and take the time to look around. Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa. It's big, really big.
Winter is here and they're making snow at Seven Oaks, Central Iowa's premier ski, snowboard, and snow tube area. We make snow all season long to give you the best conditions possible. Seven Oaks now has 2 triple chairlifts to get you to the top of the hill for plenty of thrills. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring a bus to Seven Oaks.
Seven Oaks, we're your destination for outdoor recreation.
Ski and save every Friday night on the Family 4-Pack. And on Sundays, kids 8 and under ski free with a paying adult. Ski Seven Oaks, an easy drive from Des Moines and Ames.
Welcome back. The Lady Statesman Lynxsters will open up their spring season with a national ranking nearly in their clutches. As the first NAIA Top 25 poll was released, William Penn is 30th with 13 votes. The squad has held the position since November. A year ago, the Navy and Gold were 7th out of 9 teams in the MCC championships, but quickly turned their fortunes around in the fall with 2 wins and 2 runner-up finishes. Oklahoma City is first, while Viterbo tops a trio of MCC schools at number 25, while Grandview is 36. The Lady Statesmen opened the spring season by hosting the Iowa Intercollegiate Championships this Saturday and Sunday at the Preserve Golf Course in Moravia. The men's team will also be in Moravia at the Preserve hosting the Statesmen Spring Classic the same weekend.
As college golf gets ready to tee off, high school tracksters are already lacing up. In Grinnell, the Oski girls track team won 4 events last Thursday to open up the season at the Little Hawkeye Conference indoor meet. The Indians won the shuttle hurdle relay, the 4x200 meter relay, the 60 meter dash, and the 800 meter run. The shuttle hurdle foursome of Allie Christensen, Kinsey Gunter, Kaylin Risher, and Taylor Richardson had a winning time of 40.77 seconds. The 4x200 team of Risher, Kaylee Keller, Whitney Newman, and McKenna Veldhuizen won in a time of 1 minute 52.91 seconds. Veldhuizen also won the 60 meter dash in a personal best time of 8.25 seconds, while Oski's Brooke Van Halling had the top time in the 800 in 2 minutes 32.03 seconds. That's it for this week's show. Be sure to catch replays of OSP Fridays at 10 p.m., Saturdays at 7 a.m., 10 a.m., and 10 p.m., as well as Sundays at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., and 10 p.m. here on MCG Channel 7. And if you're surfing the web, watch us and the rest of the CRI team online at www.critv.org.
Before we go this week, you've heard it just about everywhere else in OSP. We want to chime in too. The NCAA basketball tournament game with Kansas State versus Southern Mississippi last week.
Now let's take a look and listen at an incident that took place when Puerto Rico-born Kansas State guard Angel Rodriguez went to the free throw line late in the first half of Kansas State's 70-64 victory in the opening round.
As you see Mills trying to come over and draw the charge, Rodriguez has already let the ball go, and he's a freshman, but he's about as cool as they come right now.
The 5 members of the Southern Mississippi pep band that chanted, "Where's your green card?" will pay a stiff price for their poor decision.
Southern Mississippi President Martha Saunders announced Tuesday that the 5 involved had their scholarships revoked, have been removed from the band, and will have to complete a 2-hour cultural sensitivity training course this week. Jay, obviously, you know, when we kind of look at this issue, it's inexcusable overall, but what are some of the thoughts that you're thinking about right now?
Well, I'm actually glad with how the university actually took swift action and kind of went in there and tried to correct that, and actually offering an apology to Angel and what those students had actually done. And then I want to commend that gentleman for actually not letting those kids get into his head or kind of snapping out and showing that he's a productive member on that team and he represents that University of K-State well.
You know, my problem with this is more times than not when the people sit behind this desk, it becomes this mob mentality. And to revoke the scholarships of these guys, to throw them out of the band, to basically wreck their lives over a stupid decision that they made. That's the problem that I have. I don't think that they should be thrown out. I think that when we talk about colleges, mistakes happen. We need to deal with that. Do you really think that they should have had their scholarships removed and pulled out of the van versus suspensions? And look at some of the NCAA players that we have out there that have felonies already.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, if we take on that issue of Ohio State and everything that went on last year and how all those students were either suspended or kicked off of the team or we didn't even have a chance. You even think about the coaches in those incidents, they lost their jobs. So, I mean, in a way, yes, it was a dumb thing that those kids did, and maybe losing their scholarships and being kicked out of the band might seem harsh at the moment. But just like a lot of those athletes, they can go find a new home somewhere else outside of that university, and it might follow them and it might not. They might get a second chance, but being young, I mean, you have that opportunity in life where you can start over, and hopefully these kids learn from this situation and won't have this happen again.
And if you want to chime in, hit us up on Facebook at Oskaloosa Sports Pulse. I'm Jason Van Zetten alongside my man, Jay Madison. We'll be back next Friday with a new episode of OSP.